Hello, everybody. My name is Oyema Godwin. This is my friend Emmanuel. We are reading Hebrews 11, but while at verse 6, we have a message for you. So, Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." The message for you is in 3 points. Point 1: without faith it is impossible to please God. So for you as a believer or a Christian to please God, you need to have faith. What is faith? Hebrews 11 verse 1 defines faith.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
There's two things I need you to see. Most times when people hear about faith, the first thing that comes to their mind is receiving from God. That's a very good thing. But here it talks about pleasing God. So there are two layers of understanding: pleasing God and receiving from God. Let's say you're hoping for something, you have that in your heart. That's the element of expectation. Now the next thing to consider is the credibility of God. It says, "And believe that He exists." So you believe that God exists, you know that God is able to do all things without any reservations, without any limitations. He has the capability to do all things. So now you trust in His capability and credibility. This that you know about God plus your hope, because it says an evidence of things not seen. Your evidence is the credibility and the capacity of God. So the evidence of things not seen is the credibility and the capacity of God, plus your hope equal to result. Third thing to consider, and very important, it says that they must believe that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Now every day of your life you must have an attitude of earnestly seeking God. Seeking God is different from just having an awareness of God. The value of this kind of faith and knowing the two levels of understanding is that you know which one comes first, because you seek first the kingdom and every other thing shall be added unto you. Bearing that in mind, you also remember that the word says, "For without faith it is impossible to please God." So the value of faith in pleasing God is that against all odds, your faith is able to seek God still. So you do not receive the promise, or you are not seeing the promise. Remember, it is an evidence of things not seen. Your seeking after God is no longer limited by what you have not seen or the results you have not gotten. You just have an assurance in the credibility and capability of God, and so you seek Him first before any other thing. This is what God is after, and that's why He is first particular about the kind of faith that pleases Him. So as long as you have a faith that seeks after God, your confidence when you want to receive now will not be that you need faith. I believe in God's power, so your confidence is that I know Him and He knows me. If you follow through Hebrews 11, towards the end you will hear him say, "By faith the elders obtained their good result." And if you look at Abraham, who is the pioneer of faith, you'd find that Abraham followed after God even when the promised child had not come. So in pleasing God, the value of faith is that you seek after God with the same amount of intensity, no matter what you have or do not have. The reason this is important is because basically God is interested in a relationship more than anything else, and there is absolutely nothing He cannot give to His sons. So basically people come after Him for what they can receive first, and this is like a red flag for God most times. Remember when He was teaching the crowd, and he would tell them that you people seek after me for what you will gain, not really because you came to know me. Testimony of Jesus was, "This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." As long as that was his testimony from God, every other thing he asked for, he would pray for multiplication of food. He says, "Thank you, Father, for you always hear me." To raise Lazarus from death situation of 4 days, he would just look up to heaven and say, thank you, Father, for you always hear me. Because the faith is first pointed towards pleasing God. And as long as your faith is pleasing God, every other thing you ask for, your rewards will come.